Hi, Michelle Scarophile here. Welcome to another edition of Too Much Tuesday, Not Enough Coffee, Question and Answer. A lot of the questions that I get are about how I do these videos, what sort of lights I use, how difficult it is, and so I feel very fortunate today that I've brought my good friend Amey Nicoll in. Amey has a lot of experience both with print, video, filming, and so she's taught me a lot of the tips and tricks that I use, and I wanted to bring her on to share those with you. So Amey, thank you so much for being here. I'm really appreciative and grateful, and I know that everybody out there is going to learn a lot.
Absolutely.
So tell me really quickly how you got started and how you got your experience around photography, print, filming, that sort of thing.
Well, it started when I was in high school, and I was approached by a photographer who was starting a modeling agency to do a little bit of modeling. And then when it was only 3 apples high, that didn't go very well, so I decided to go to the other side of the camera. And I was trained by his current makeup artist, along with some of the models that he had brought with him from Europe, to learn about classic style, about lighting, about the way to present yourself, about hair and makeup and the whole 9 yards.
So you've got experience on both sides of the camera.
I do, and then after that, actually, later in my career, I worked in advertising as an advertising executive, and so was in charge of accounts, in charge of print advertising, commercials, radio, things like that.
Right.
So,
very cool.
got some experience on both sides.
So if you were to say that there were, 2 or 3 main things that really resonated with you that you now keep in mind when you're taking photographs or making a video, what would those few things be?
They would be, I guess, first and foremost, posture. Keep your posture while you're videotaping.
It's like your mom always said.
Right.
Sit up straight.
During interview, during everything, that's what you're presenting, who you are, and how confident you are, and what you're doing, and what you're saying. Visine, and powder yourself down.
Yeah.
I would say those things are really important when you're going to shoot a video, when you're going to take a picture, when you're going to do anything that represents yourself to the world, and for them to sit there and listen to you and hear what you have to say.
Now, I've seen, like stuff on E! Where they have the video shoots, the Kardashians or whatever, and it always seems like they have so much makeup on.
I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I think that when you're getting in front of the camera, that it's better off to put a little bit more on than maybe you would wear normally. Obviously,
because you don't see it as much? It doesn't show up?
Right, exactly. Okay. Lighting is so important, and the lighting is going to soften things and make things look better. But keeping your hair simple, keeping your clothes simple, you can throw a little flair in there with your fun earrings and your whatever your personality is, what you're trying to do. But I think as long as you put some makeup on, put your mascara on, make yourself look pretty, you're going to feel better about the video that you made, and people are going to present it better. I mean,
that's absolutely true. When you feel better about yourself, that translates.
It sure does.
Yes.
It sure does. And so when you go back and look at that video, you're going to see that, oh, it does look better when I've powdered down and, combed my hair. And
now, what about men?
Men, same thing. Same thing, definitely. I think that they need to go by all the same rules.
Little mascara, little powder.
Yes. Maybe not the mascara so much, but actually they should be powdering, and they should be putting Visine in too.
Right. Keeping
their clothes simple, and simple lines and simple colors and simple things like that. Absolutely too. One of the things that you and I have talked about before is angle of cameras, and where those things are. And I think that still photography and camera photography translate in both ways. There's different angles that you can take pictures on. Some things look better taken from above, some from below to make you feel taller and higher, which always came in handy for me. And then there's shooting straight on. Right. The most important thing to remember during all of that is how your face is placed in all of that. One of the things you don't want to make this mistake of is getting your face too low in a camera angle and letting the whites of your eyes show underneath. It shows a sense of vulnerability. It was something that I learned in still photography when we were doing print advertising. It was extremely important to make sure that you didn't look meek or weak, especially for men. Not a good idea.
Right.
Some men that that, you know, even did that naturally, we had them kind of tighten underneath the eyes just to make sure you didn't come across that way.
That they were looking more masculine.
Right, and remember, you don't know how many times someone's going to see something. You get, you know, maybe one shot to make it work. So give it your all that one time. So you want to make sure that your head placement is even with the camera wherever you are, and that the circle of your eyes is, you know, in between the almond shape of your eyes.
Okay.
Keep it there.
Good to know. I know that when you shared that with me before, that was something that I had never heard and really resonated with me, and something that I've definitely kept in mind whenever I set up these, you know, these different shoots. Now, I want to go back really, really quickly to one thing you said, because you had said not to show vulnerability. But when you say vulnerability, do you mean like weakness? You said meekness?
Yes.
Not necessarily not being afraid to show who you are or to expose yourself. You just mean in the demeanor and the physicality of it.
That's right. That's right. If you're selling yourself or your service, your advice, your whatever it is, you are the expert in that. You don't ever want someone to not believe what you're doing. That's what I mean by that vulnerable, where you're looking vulnerable and you're unsure of what you're saying. And it's funny how posture and the placement of your eyes, and maybe just things that are kind of go unsaid, unspoken, you can't really put your finger on it, how it translates can come across that way. And that was something, especially for men, women too, that was a big thing
that would come up.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Amey. I really appreciate it. I know this information is going to help a lot of people. Hopefully, take some of the intimidation out from, you know, making one of these films. Yeah. So, if you liked this video, if you learned something, please like it below. Please share it via Facebook or other social media sites. And go ahead and post below an aha or a comment you had, or if you know another tip or trick that you think would be helpful to share. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.
Then it's important to keep your head, you know, forward, maybe slightly down, making sure you don't you have a Chineck. Nobody wants a Chineck. Absolutely.
So tell me how you got started. And what I want to,
we were so good the first time.
I know.